Yo, what is going on, everyone? Appreciate you guys for tuning back in. Yours truly, Culture Shock. We are here to discuss some recent news for the Colts. Of course, free agency is pretty much almost over. The draft's right around the corner. Appreciate you guys for staying tuned. If you haven't, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all platforms at the Culture Shock Podcast. And follow me on all platforms at the Blue Stable Podcast as well. And check out the website, thebluestable.com. That's www.thebluestable.com for articles and more. We stream during live games, things of that nature. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm going to get you guys updated on all the transactions for what the Indianapolis Colts did day after day 5 of free agency. So these are all the things that transpired in that time. Hopefully, we have ourselves a good draft. We got the second pick going down to the seventh. It should be interesting to see what they do with their process. Of course, there's still a few moves that needs to be made due to the lack of depth at certain positions, like the wide receiver. I agree, in my opinion, wide receiver. We need another wide receiver. Edge rush is still thin. We still need another corner and another safety, in my opinion. But I'm going to go through all the moves the Colts made recently. So keep up, take your notes, write down so you can remember. But let's go ahead and hop into it. So we're going to start off with Daniel Jones, of course. They bought back Daniel Jones on a 2-year deal, $88 million. They bought back Alec Pierce as well, which was a 4-year, $114 million. They bought back Blake Grupe, who had himself a successful season. They brought him back on a 1-year, $1.2 million deal. And as of recent, they bought back Drew Ogletree as tight end. Pretty formidable tight end, got good hands. They bought back Mo Ali Cox, one of our favorite tight ends. He's probably going to be a Colt forever as long as Ballard's in office. One of the best run blockers, in my opinion. So it's good to bring him back for that. Pretty much takes a decoy away from Tyler Warren. He's pretty reliable. Laquan Treadwell, who's one of my favorites. Laquan Treadwell is one of my favorite receivers, training camp wise, preseason wise, and just to fill in. I think he's pretty good. He's been around the league for a while, so it's good to see him back on the roster. He's always available. Free agents we signed out of free agency. We're going to start with Arden Key from Tennessee. We got him from 2 years, $20 million. He stays in the AFC South. He is now an Indianapolis Colt. We signed Michael Clemons from the Jets, 3 years, $17.5 million. We signed former Super Bowl winner Derrick Nnadi from the Kansas City Chiefs for a 1-year, $1.3 million deal. A good rotational piece, in my opinion. So is Michael Clemons. As of recent, we signed Jonea Thomas from the Cowboys, another rotational piece in my opinion. And then we got Jonathan Owens from the Chicago Bears. He should be a good piece to fill in as well. The players we lost in free agency is Kwity Paye to the Las Vegas Raiders, 3 years, $48 million deal. We lost Brayton Smith to our AFC South rival, which is the Houston Texans, 2 years, $25 million. We lost Nick Cross to Washington Commanders. He went back home. Excited to see what he does there. That's 2 years, $14 million deal. We lost Neville Gallimore to the Chicago Bears, 2 years, $12 million deal. We lost Stetson Ebukam, who had himself a pretty standout season when he first arrived in Indianapolis. We lost him to Atlanta, and then we lost Rodney Thomas II to the Seattle Seahawks. Never really got his chance to stand out and flourish in the Indianapolis Colts system, but hopefully he gets his chance. He's a good special teamer, but hopefully he gets himself a chance with the Super Bowl winners, Seattle Seahawks. Teams a move we made as well. We traded for Colby Wooden from the Green Bay Packers. We got him for 1 year, $1.15 million, and a 6th-round pick from Pittsburgh. Colby Wooden was in the trade with Zaire Franklin. Colby Wooden is a good rotational piece for the interior, and he can play outside. No, that's Arden Key. Excuse me. But Colby Wooden's a good interior piece for the defensive tackle, just to fill in when DeForest Buckner and Grover is not available. But I think he's a pretty decent rotational piece. Nothing more, nothing less. We traded away Michael Pittman Jr. to Pittsburgh, and they wound up extending him, so he's probably going to flourish there. Never really could get involved in the new dynamic scheme for the Indianapolis Colts offense. Alec Pierce just pretty much took over at that point. Josh Downs as well. So it's kind of out in the old and in with the new. We traded away our 7th-round pick as well to Pittsburgh, and we restructured Bernard Ryman's contract. pretty much created $8.25 million in cap space. Well, $8 million cap space. So I think, like I said at the beginning, when free agency and offseason started, I felt like they were going to try to switch up this roster and make it more fast, more speed on the offensive defensive side of the ball, especially with Lou Anarumo and his scheme. You kind of see how his blitzes can be a little bit more quicker. And I think that's the agenda that they're going to go for the defense. It wants to be a little bit lighter, a little bit faster. And the people you see they have retained and the people they got rid of just shows you the message and what they're trying to do on this defensive side of the ball. Now, of course, there's still needs that need to be met for this team on the defensive side. Like I said, there's still a lot of holes that needs to be filled. Can they be filled in the draft? Absolutely. But I think with the draft capital we have, it's not good enough. So they have to make some more moves. In my opinion, there's still a lot of veterans out there for agency. With the draft, there's a lot of good players in the draft on the defensive side. Not saying they're going to hit on all of them, but, like I said, it's a diamond in the rough, and it's a very sketchy selection that you have at your picks. Now, they could, of course, move up in the draft. Come draft day, they can move up. That's no question. But, like I said, that's a lot of risk to take. The last time they did something like that, when they had good picks, well, not even moved up. When they had a high pick, the last time they did that, it was Anthony Richardson, and we've seen what happened with that experiment. But, like I said, this regime and their dynamic of what they have moving forward, they started off pretty good last year with the roster that they had. So, like I said, I have faith in them to, try to, rekindle that flame of what they had dynamic-wise on the offensive defense side. The defense was, abysmal, in my opinion. They had moments and spurts, but they just could not get it done. The offense pretty much saved the season last year, one of the best offenses in the league. Of course, it didn't turn out how we wanted to at the end of the year, but you've seen the potential it had. So the offense has a chance to rekindle that going into next season. The defense has to figure it out. Lou Anarumo is here for another year. They got rid of some pieces on the defensive side. Hopefully we can get Jermaine Pratt back. Like I said, he had a solid year last year. And with the departure of Zaire Franklin, it's going to be interesting to see what they do at the linebacker position and what they do at the safety position as well without Nick Cross. Cam Bynum's back there still. I want to see who's going to be his running mate. We got Thomas and Owens back there as well. So there's potential there to be, some type of promise, but we need some type of help on the edge rush with Latu on the opposite side. The edge rush is weak. The interior defensive line is pretty good, so that's no question. But the linebacker position, the opposite side of Bynum at the safety position, another corner, and another edge rusher will pretty much satisfy. Well, pretty much give me an answer of what I need to look for at the defensive side of the ball for the Indianapolis Colts. The offensive side, I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out. I have faith in them. We got Jonathan Taylor still, so it's no question of what they got going on the offensive side. Feed him the ball and get out the way. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do going into the season. There's still a lot of time to make something happen. We are running thin on prospects. We didn't get Crosby. We didn't get Hendrickson. So Grenier is still out there, but I don't know what it's going to look like moving forward. Hopefully they can do something to pretty much give us some type of hope. I still have hope in this team. The potential is still there. Like I said, the offense is dynamic. They still have their hitters out there on the offensive side. They just brought back Alec Pierce. That's all we needed as well. So we'll see what they do in the remaining days of the offseason, especially going into the draft. But that is all I got for you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How you feel so far about the most recent moves? Who did we miss out on that you wanted in Indianapolis? And who would you want out the draft? Let me know all these things in the comment section. Check out the website, thebluestable.com, for articles and more. And follow us on all platforms. Just look at thebluestable.com. Just look up the Blue Stable podcast on all platforms. And check out the Culture Shock podcast on all platforms. This is Culture Shock. Until next time, you guys have a good one.